And I think we're live. Hello, world.
Hello, thanks
And
for having me.
if there are any people watching, please write something for us to know that we're actually live and not talking to ourselves right now. So today we improvised kind of a live stream with Jean-Michel. We organized it in just a couple of hours. And maybe before we just jump into coding, Jean-Michel, could you please introduce yourself, tell us about your background and how you ended up writing CLI scripts? CLI is command line interface. These are tools that you invoke on your command line without GUI, without anything. So please explain to us how you ended up writing CLI tools in Kotlin Multiplatform.
Sure. Well, I will share my screen so that people can see some of my work quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So the project where we are using today is a Kotlin CLI starter.
I still don't see your screen, by the way. So now I see it. Okay, now we see your screen. Yes.
So the project we are working today is a Kotlin CLI starter. It's a template. There is a big use this template button. We will explain later what is there. This is a recent project. I started it 1 month ago. I started it because I didn't want to write Bash script anymore. My life is too short for Bash programming is a resolution for the new year I've taken. And my take was why not use a real programming language? And I am a Kotlin fanboy. I try to be not too much a fanboy, but really any modern programming language is so much better than Bash. If you have a command line tool to write, you could use Python, you could use JavaScript, whatever.
Definitely.
And this project was my exploration for using Kotlin to do that. And my challenge was to re-implement a tool called Git Standup. I don't know if you have ever used it.
No, I haven't.
So it's really interesting. So it's for people doing stand-up. And for people like me, sometimes when the stand-up is about to start, we are in a panic mode because we don't remember what we did yesterday. And what the Git standup does is that it goes in all your Git repositories and it prints the commits made by you yesterday. So you know exactly what you did and you can go to the standup with serenity in mind.
So basically, if you've got a micromanager as a manager, you can satisfy their curiosity by showing them, look, yesterday I performed 5 commits.
You can do that, but wait, because if you have a sticky project manager, it can show what you did. It can spy. So that's the other part. You can use it to spy, but I only use it to remember what I did yesterday.
Nice. Well, but also for those of us who work on multiple projects in parallel, and usually I work on quite a few in parallel, it's great because you can see on a glance what progress you've made in each of these projects. Yes. I think I understand what this tool does. So you re-implemented it using Kotlin Multiplatform. Exactly. And I thought that, maybe for this tutorial and our goal here is for you basically to show me the basics of Kotlin Multiplatform. I will try to ask questions. Maybe I will try to write some code because this new editor by JetBrains allows us to do that.
Yeah.
And basically the project that we thought about is kind of Git stats. So I work as a freelance consultant and I jump between different projects. And when I join a project, I usually want to kind of quickly understand what's the status, where are the pain points of that project. And one of the ways to do that is to look at Git history and just see which files changed the most often. Let's say in the past month, how many changes in each of these files in the code base have been made. And once I see that, for example, usually it's just 5% of the files that are changed quite often and others just lie dormant. So kind of, where the activity goes, where the effort goes in this project. And this gives you a good starting point to jump into project and ramp up quicker.
Yeah, that sounds like a really useful tool.
Yeah, so we will try to implement a very naive version of that, because full-blown version probably in 1 hour even Jake Wharton wouldn't be able to write. But we will try something really naive, and hopefully by the end of this session we will have the basic Kotlin multi-platform command line tool working, and then maybe we will be able to keep adding, or I will be able to keep adding more feature as needed if it will be appropriate, or maybe someone from our viewers would like to contribute something to it.
Okay.
So that's our goal, and I think we can start. And by the way, just a moment before we start, well, tell us about your professional background. Are you Android developer? Are you not Android developer? What do you do?
I used to be an Android developer, and I wrote an article called Android $1 Billion Mistakes, which was my way of saying I don't want to do that anymore. And so now I'm working on the backend side of things.
Okay, so now you're a backend developer. Which language do you write? Kotlin?
Kotlin, yes.
Yeah, great.
I'm learning TypeScript at the moment.
Okay, great. So basically you are a Kotlin expert. Okay, let's jump into code. And I think I will share my side, right?
Yes.
So that's the platform. It looks exactly like IntelliJ. Let me just maybe take this thing and drag it to my second monitor. And it looks exactly as IntelliJ, as Android Studio or IntelliJ idea. But it's actually a live coding session. I have here Jean-Michel, and I can jump. Jean-Michel, write something so people see that when you write, it's reflected on my screen. Just several symbols. Jean-Michel, can you just write several? Just write some string. I want to make sure that I see when you jump around. Yeah. Great. So that's how we are going to work. And I can write here too, right? If I just do that, you will see that.
Yeah.
Beautiful, simply beautiful. So let's jump into it. We have a template for Kotlin Multiplatform project. Where do we start?
I will start with the README. Let's do some README-oriented programming.
README-oriented programming, no problem with that. Let me just find GitHub J.M. Fayard. That's your name, right?
Yes.
And here we want to find, what's the name of that? Git?
CLI starter.
Git standup. Right.
No, this is a real Git standard.
This is the real Git standard.
Like the project is called Kotlin CLI starter.
Kotlin CLI starter.
And here you have to use. Can you go up? Here you have to use this template, but you already did. So you have a copy of this repository in your account.
Yeah, so that's why we see this code. But if I would just maybe try to open some incognito tab, new incognito, and I would go here like that. No, I still have this code. Because I'm not logged in. Okay, so I'm not logged in. If I would be logged in, this button would actually be just use this template, and it would just copy this template to my own GitHub, and I would be able to start right away without any additional work. Okay, let's say I did that, and now I scroll down. The starter project to build command line tools using Kotlin Multiplatform. Great.
Yes. So you have some installation option, and they will be mostly the same for your tool, so we will keep them, but we will delete all the rest of the README, and we will just type what would be the usage and what do we expect the output to be like.
Yeah, I think as far as I understand this project, it is already kind of working, so we can actually just jump. We will not fix names and we will not fix the README. I will take care of that maybe later. But let's jump straight into coding and try to write the logic, the actual logic of the commands. How about that?
Okay. So what you have to do, maybe I will do it. I've put some commands called customize me to where your starting point are. So for example, here.
Currently, I don't see.
see?
I know. Yes, exactly. Follow. So that's okay. Now I see.
Can you do a search for customize me? Because
Customize me. Yep. So yeah, all
like
this.
Open in file window.
Customize me.
Yeah, do open in file window because we will change the command name and things like this.
Nothing found in project. What do you mean nothing found project? Okay, probably the problem is this.
The client is not perfect.
No, it just doesn't work. Okay, let's just start
follow me, I will do it.
Yeah, let's just start coding right away, and you tell what you do, and I will be just asking questions then.
So do you see what I'm doing here?
Yeah, you are in Git stand-up file.
Yes. So here I have to change the name of the project to Git stats. Okay.
Great.
Then there is an installer. So we will have to do this. Here we have to use git start.
Yeah, but maybe do we have to do that right now?
Now when we will just, I will now install the app by running Gradle install, and the command will be called git stat. This is why I wanted to do it.
Okay. Where is the logic? I want to start writing logic. I don't like build scripts. The tests are specific to Git stand-up and can be deleted once under start. Write your own unit tests. Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, because this is something that doesn't exist in Bash script. Basically, you have everything in one file and you don't write test.
Common test. Okay, I see this CLI config. That's the config.
So CLI command will be where we start. So we want to write a add message. Okay, install finished. So now I have a Kotlin native executable, and if I do git start, no wait, it's maybe like this. I forgot something.
Yeah, let's see if we have git stand-up somewhere.
Wait, there is another way. So this program is currently you can run it on the JVM. You can run it on Node, Node.js, and you can run it as a macOS executable. So right now I will just use a JVM. So I will open the JVM main file.
Okay.
And I will run it like this, just a normal main function of the JVM. And what I will do is I will pass -l as an argument because I want to first take care of argument passing.
Oh, we have such a nice background music from you.
Yes.
It's immediately evident that you are from Paris.
Yes, that's right. So we can now run the program. So if you want to code, the first step would be to be here in the CLI command. It's about parsing your arguments. This is why I propose to do README-oriented programming, because I don't know yet which kind of argument do you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you expect the program to be used?
I would like, just to invoke command line, and let's say without any arguments, and the program should just go and parse local Git repository and extract information from it. Very basic information. I can tell you about the information later. So basically, just show me where I type comments that I want to.
Okay. So for now, we will just delete all the parameter.
Okay.
So I will just do for the start PLN Git status. That should do it. No, of course not. We have to delete all of this.
Yeah, there looks to be quite a bit of.
Yeah, but this is why I've put some customize me pointers for where you have to start.
So basically, currently we just remove the old code that we won't need anymore, right?
Yes.
All right.
So now we can start adding code. I remove this because we don't need it. And so what we want to do is to execute a git log command. Have you looked what exactly will be the git log command?
Yeah, I thought we will do the following. First of all, we want to get the list of all commits in this specific repository, right? So that will be basically, let me just Google it, get all commits short. So I need a very simple about this. Maybe we can do just git short log. Let me try that. Git short log. What's that? Yeah, I should have done this ahead of time. Sorry for all of you who sit there. All right. Right. So this is the comment. Let me copy paste it. That we want to execute. Where do I paste it? Here, right?
Yes, here.
And we should probably enclose it like that.
And here you use dot split with a space because we want it, because it expects a list.
Type list from string. Okay.
So you just do dot split.
Like that?
With a space. Yep.
Okay, and there's still some problem. No value passed to parameter options. What's that?
There is an option that I already add it. Is where you put the current directory and whether you want to trim the output and so on. So this will work, but you will see nothing because you have to actually use the result of the function.
Exactly. So we want to capture something like that, right? Commits.
Yes.
This will work, or this will not work?
This will work.
All right. And once we've got this list of commits, we want to basically somehow, this will be a string, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, return string. So now we want to basically split it into a list of strings. Val say commits list equals commits.
You can do dot lines, I think.
What's the function?
Lines.
Lines.
I think, no? Yep.
Is the chart sequence list of lines delimited by any. Great. And for each of these, now we want, let's just, commits list for each. Let's just print line. Let's see if it works so far.
Okay.
So basically now I'd expect to see just a list of commits. Git status, yes, and currently we have just one single
and
commit.
Because this is a template, there's only one commit.
Yeah, great. So maybe that's a good place to add another commit, so we will have something to work with.
Okay, so I commit the current state.
Yeah, I never use, how do you switch to terminal?
Command K.
Terminal, yeah, thank you. Git adventure. Git status, and the more similar, yes, that's what I wanted. And so git add and git commit -m initial. What's that?
So I rerun, and now I have the two commits. So it's working.
You already committed?
Yes.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It was just some out of sync. All right. So we have the basics working. So basically, where this function comes from?
It's in the main function.
I see. So on JVM, if I want to run the CLI script on JVM, then basically this function will be called, and
yes.
From here you just call this suspending function.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So commits list for each print line. Instead of printing line, we want for each of them execute, let's say, parse commit files. And then we want to create this function, commit ID. Right. So again, we would like to implement something. What's that? Sorry, it's string, of course, and that's commit ID. So we want to implement some very simple parsing. So basically, for each commit, I want to obtain the list of files that were changed in that commit. So I guess we will need to execute this same command again. It's so handy that IntelliJ imported my own key map, so I can use it. Execute command and capture output.
You have to pass the options as parameter as well.
Yeah, and yeah, it's suspending function, so I will need to make this one suspending as well.
Yep.
Okay, so parse commit files, and I want for each, instead of commits, I want to files changed files equal execute command, and this command I actually found it. So that will be the command that we will use. Just remove that.
Okay.
-r, but we will need to split it and then add. Split returns what list, right? Yeah, list, but to mutable list. Yeah, I'm sure that there's better way to do that, but let's currently just do that. Add and commit ID.
Oh no, you can just put $commit ID in the string.
I was certain that there is a better way. You're right. Commit ID, even without that. And options. What could you explain a minute what this options parameter does?
I wanted to be able to customize what the execute command does. For example, you need to specify in which current directory you are using.
I see. Abort on error, redirect stdr, and trim. Okay, great. So let's make these options
Yeah.
right here, right?
Yes.
Val options equals just this guy, basically. Why doesn't you grab it? And then we will be able to use it everywhere.
Yes.
Great. So hopefully now we will have changed files, and let's just once again change the files for each, just print it. And if I do Shift F10, it will execute it, right?
Yes.
Nice. Compile Kotlin Linux x64. Okay, there's quite a bit of.
Wait, you have not used the same task as me. I'm using the runner on the JVM. But
it's not the same task.
It's not the same task.
Okay, so
I'm not sure you can. I'm not sure you can call the main function. I will do it.
Okay, just run it. Okay, no problem. JVM.
Just for people, a small explanation of why you would like to use a JVM or native. I think when you are programming and debugging, you want to use a JVM because you have so much possibilities to use a debugger and so on. On the other hand, when you are running the command line tool, the JVM is slow to start. Even if you do hello world, it will take like 1 second. Whereas if it's a native build, it starts immediately. And likewise, it's easier to, if you want to have your tool and you want to SSH to copy it to a virtual machine that you own, well, maybe sometimes you don't have the JVM, and then you are pretty happy to be able to use the native app. On the other hand, if you are doing a lot of things, and the JVM is more performant. So, for example, Kotlin, the Kotlin formatter, is doing a lot of things with reformatting file. In this case, it probably makes more sense to use the JVM.
Okay, but when, let's say, not while debugging, while deploying, where do I can find now where I make the font of the settings smaller. Here, that's color, console font, fallback. Okay, never mind. We'll keep it like that. So, okay, but when you actually execute this program, when you build it, is this a single executable that can run on multiple machines, or you just build for each machine? For each target?
There is an executable for each machine. There is one for macOS, one for Linux, and one for Windows.
So basically, there is it's not like JVM that you can port it to different machines.
No.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you probably get a better performance.
So have you seen the output of
yeah, let me exit presentation.
So it's not what we expect.
Yeah, something.
I think it's a good time to write a first unit test.
Let's go.
What I will do is I will execute in the terminal the git diff3 command, which one of the commit we have, and then try to parse it. Maybe I can do it.
Okay, let's go. Where's the unit test? Test. So I'm searching for test. What's for sure is that it takes some time, all this communication.
Code with me, yes. So it's in common test because it runs on all the platform.
Yeah, CLI common test.
I will delete everything.
And let's say I want a new test function.
So I'm opening the terminal to be sure what
But the
output
problem
looks like.
is that for unit tests, we need a very predefined, clearly defined input, right? So we cannot write unit test against our current repository because you will not have it. So we should kind of put entire Git repository package together with the project in order to be able to write unit tests against it.
Yeah.
So maybe
do you want to run it in another repository?
No, I'm just thinking that it maybe will take a little bit too much time currently because people are watching, and preparing repository will take some time. So maybe we will.
I will not. I will only unit test how we parse the result of Git diff tree.
Okay, maybe then take a read and code that, because I'm not sure I understand what you want to achieve with this unit test. So let's just see.
The command that we are using is git diff tree, and it's doing nothing. So your command is not really working.
Really?
Okay, yes, now it's working.
Okay, that's what I wanted to see, exactly.
So the input is this. And now we expect the output to be the same thing except modified and so on.
No, but we haven't reached this. We haven't reached this stage yet. Currently, we have this Git tree, and for some reason, we just. I know.
I don't know why it's slow. It's called with me.
What is this?
I want to be sure that I parse correctly the result of the Git commit.
Assert equals.
This is annoying because this is really easy, but every
Yeah,
time I do something, I have to wait 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I think we experience some kind of a lag right now. Okay, but that's expected. We're using very new tool. Actually, that's not exactly what I would expect from that command, because what I would like to write here, where is that? Here. So I would like to create here a global data structure, or at least local for this file, for this project, and just start filling it up. So for each commit, I'm going, well, that's, maybe let's do it like this. So we'll have, we'll pass a map here, and the map, that will be commits file stats. That will be map of type file name will be string. And let's say, well, we want to make it simple, right? Integer. That will be just a map that will aggregate stats for the commits, for the files, sorry. And here, after we pass it, after we parse this commit, I want to make sure that every file in this map either created or incremented.
But you mean a mutable map, no?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm hardcore Java user.
Oh.
Exactly, mutable map.
Okay.
So let's see. If we parse files, but no, parse commit file. What's going on here? That I would no. Okay, sorry, something. Okay. Parse commit files. I'll write it myself. Thank you very much. And then here I want to pass some map. So val map. It's called just map equals mutable map. Now you will need to help me with Kotlin. I can do like this, right?
You should use mutable map of.
Mutable map of function, yes. Yeah, today.
Yep. And just parentheses. No, after the.
What?
I will do it.
Yeah, something here doesn't work for me. So maybe try to do it on your side, because you are the host. Probably it will work better for you. I just can't write this mutable map of. It's very slow for you too, right?
It's too slow to work.
Yeah. Well, maybe we have some process here. I tried to stop it. Maybe we can. Okay, let's say mutable map of strings, and then, wow, that doesn't work for me. Okay, but you go here and remove that. Yeah, to infer type, no problem.
The parentheses are after the type arguments.
After generics?
Yep.
My bad.
And you have no.
And auto indent doesn't work for me here for some reason. But let's just say that we have this file. And why? I don't understand what's going on here. You're not touching anything, right?
No,
So
no.
it's some kind of a glitch in this. You know what?
Maybe
Maybe we'll close this project and you send me invitation once again. Try to reset.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So folks who are watching this live stream, we are very sorry. We are kind of working with this JetBrains new tool. It's called, and it escaped me now how it's called. Jean-Michel, Code with me. Yeah, Code with me, which is basically an ability to use IntelliJ to do collaborative code, pair programming, collaborative coding. But for us at this point, it doesn't work too well. So yeah, currently Jean-Michel will send me an invitation to another session, and I will try to connect, and hopefully it will start working all right. Because before it started to glitch, it worked actually pretty well. Vyacheslav, thank you very much for all your tips and hints.
I sent you another link.
Okay, and the way this Code with me works is basically from IntelliJ, Jean-Michel sends me a link, and then I just open it on my computer. It downloads all kind of stuff, and then waits for host approval. Let me just show you that, because currently you see just my face, and it's not very interesting, of course. And we're back. Okay, let's try once again to write this function.
I can now actually program.
Yeah, and by the way, notice that we can write it together. So Jean-Michel works there down here, and I work concurrently up here. So it's really nice. No, it's not nice. Yes, something about here doesn't work well.
So you don't need, this is Java. You can just put it inside the parentheses. But
okay, all I want to do here is to have one single file and say that it has a count of 1.
Yep.
Thank you very much. And that's all. And then after we parse this input, we want this count to be 2 and all the rest of the counts to be 1, right? That will be our parsing. So expected
will be a map, not a list. We expect 2, expect 1, and we expect 1.
Beautiful.
And we have an interesting problem at line 27.
Mm-hmm.
Because a function is a suspending function. So you think you can use run blocking to solve the problem?
That will be nice, yes.
Yeah, but that doesn't work because run blocking exists on the JVM, exists on native, but doesn't exist on JavaScript. So there is a clever workaround in my project.
Okay, let me just...
Well, we define an expect function run test. And run test is defined to be something on JavaScript and to be run blocking on the JVM. Which means here we can now use run test. And we have to import it. I'm not sure if I was too fast.
Okay, so basically instead of run blocking, when we use suspending functions, we want to use this run test. Okay, and the problem here is mutable map.
I don't
so it also. So how do we solve it? Is to map function?
No. It's on the expected parameter, but I assumed it was a mutable map. It is a mutable map.
Yeah, but expected is map. So probably we need to make it mutable.
No. No, wait. It's not expected here, it's map. And then we do assert equal.
Ah, yes, of course.
Map is expected.
Yeah.
Let's run the test. We will run it on the JVM, but you can also run it on JavaScript or natively.
What will be the fastest?
On the JVM, I think.
Okay.
Because here we need a global map.
Okay, great. Assertion failed. So let's try to actually edit this code to make it work. So we have this comment, and no, but it's not. We assume that we will get as an input to parse commit files this thing, but actually we get commit ID. So maybe for each we will do the following. We will.
It's not a for each. You have to use lines here.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Just a second. We will do val commits equals that.
Okay, it's IT.
And then we will parse commits into here. And now this will need to parse it and do all these manipulations.
Okay.
So changed files equals, let's see, commits lines. And then we want only to keep lines, and we want to filter out lines which don't start with either A or M, because if it starts with anything else, with D, it means that the file was deleted, and we don't want, or maybe we do. Well, it doesn't matter right now. We're writing something very simple. It's not a final version.
Yep.
So maybe we can even then make our lives simpler and use this name only command, and then we won't have this even, right?
Okay.
If I do name only and use this, yes, I'll have just the files. This will be even simpler. So this currently contains all the files, and all I want to do for each, I want to go here, and could you deselect this area? I think it's
yep.
Thank you. And then for each of them, let's increase font size a little bit more. For each of them, I want to just increment its counter inside mutable map, or put a new value in there, right? So is there some smart Kotlin shorthand for this operation, or I'll just need to check whether it's there or not? Okay.
I think there's put or else or get or else.
File stats. Let's just name it. So it will be file name.
I think there is put or else method. Get or put. Get or put, it's good.
What does it do? Return the value of the given key in the map cause the... No, that's not what I want to. I want to actually add something, right? So I want to do.
Yeah, but you have to do two calls. You do a get or put. This part is good.
Mm-hmm.
And now you do a get or put. No, equal get or put.
It is
equal file starts.
file stats. Okay, I have get or put.
Get or put.
Get or else even this one. You want it, right?
No, we want to. Okay, yeah, this one. So
String key file name.
File name, and this is 0.
And default value is actually 1, not 0, right? Because if we execute that, then we already have 1. But it doesn't matter because we have unit test. What's the problem here?
You have to put as a lambda.
I have to put it what? Sorry.
Inside a lambda.
Yep, that's also trailing lambda. Okay, so now we can try to rerun our unit test. Let's see if it did anything good on JVM. So it allowed me to choose the target platform. That's nice of it. And now we have some nice output. Expected that, but actual different.
Yeah, the problem is you have to remove the prefix, all those M tab. We have to remove it.
Yes, we have to remove it from here. And also, I think there is at least one edge case. Could you please run this? Yes, thank you very much. And yes, we did not increment. So, no, expected is different. Can it be that we just switch between expected and actual? Yeah, expected is the first one. So that should be expected, and that should be the actual. And of course, it always happens. No matter how many unit tests you write, it always happens. Okay, so we expect that to be 2, but it was 1. And the problem is, of course, by the way, folks, if you don't unit test out there watching this stream, is anyone watching at all? So that's a good demonstration why unit tests are handy. So get or put file name 1, and we don't actually get or put file name 1 plus 1, right? That's what we want to do.
Yeah, but then you want 0 inside the lambda.
Yes, exactly. Let's see if this solves our problem. Yeah, green test. Okay, great. So let's say that this method works and this method works. By the way, all of that, what's that? That's the that's just to find.
So when you want to execute an external command on the JVM, you need to put the absolute path. You cannot say git. You have to do /user/local/git. This is why I'm at line 21. I'm calling where find executable git is doing where git.
I see. Okay, so this basically finds executable. Then you get CLI command, current directory. Yes, and okay, so that's basically a standard boilerplate to find git and other commands that you might use. And then we found our commits. What we need to do in order to make this work. Maybe let's extract this one into another function because this sounds like a better. So let's call it parse commits. And we want to create this function. Just this.
You will need to make it suspending.
Of course, forgot about that. Okay, so we've got that. So we basically, I think we are done. No, that's our very naive, very simple.
You need to return the map and then you display and you order by value.
Yeah, let's just maybe. Yeah, let's make it like that. Map, because I don't want to actually make this map global here because theoretically I should write some unit tests for this code as well.
Yes.
So that will be a map of string and int, and I will just return it. and it's not map, it's file stats. Okay, beautiful. And then I do val file stats equals parse commits, and then I want to print stats. What will be the simplest way to output this information?
Yeah, you want to call the order by.
I want to call what, sorry?
Map.orderby. Sorry, I mean file stats.
Yeah, file stats order by.
Is it not defined? Sorted by, sorry.
Sort, yeah. What's maybe it's mutable?
No, it's not necessary. You can do file stat.toList, file stat.entries, .sorted by.
Sort by, and then here
it should be,
I need comparator. So that will be, let's actually sort on just it, right?
no, it's it.second or it.value. And then you want to display the key. No, you want to display everything actually.
Yeah, we want basically file stats for each. What's the arguments of this?
It's a
map entry.
It's a key value.
In line, let's say with key.
I will start with the value first because it will be your number.
Value, yeah, but I want to first. Well, it doesn't matter actually, but okay, whatever you say. I would usually print files first and then. Okay, so we want to have its value, so that's the count, and then like that.
Okay, that will not work because when you do sorted by, it does a copy, it doesn't modify. So you can just do like this.
File.
Sorry.
That's modified. Yeah, no, it's well.
I let you type.
I'm sorry, my Kotlin chops is very not on your level, so I'm very slow with that. Okay, so file starts sorted equals that, and then we, for each of them, we print value. Okay,
That seems good to me.
Sounds like we can try to run this tool. So what we will do, all run, install.
No, I will run a JVM main.
JVM main.
Okay. So this is not super interesting, but it seems to work.
Yeah.
We should try it on another repository.
Yes, but also we have some bug. You see that the last line.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, first of all, let's just commit something, right? So let me try to commit, see if it works. Git status, and then what do we have right now? I see the first commit, initial commit. Git -a -m. What was that? naive implementation. Okay, so theoretically, if we run this project now, we should go get, yeah, so git standup now has 2 changes, but we have this very strange guy, so we have something missing here. Let's try to find it, dedicate 5 minutes to it.
Okay.
Okay, so git standup, that's where we put everything, and we have something without name, a file without name. That would probably be here. Maybe lines. Yes, remove. We need to remove maybe a blank lines, right?
I will do like commit.lines.filter it is blank.
Filter it is not. Filter removes or
it's blank. It's blank.
It's blank.
So no, it's sorry. You are right. It is not blank.
Yeah, I never remember how it works. Okay, well, and actually, like for those of you who will watch it at some point, the way to fix this problem is to write unit tests, not to try like do it like this. But currently, because we are just 1 hour into the stream, we will do it like this. And actually, yes, Jean-Michel was absolutely right. Now we have that. And the only problem is that it's sorted in reverse order. So that's not something that I wanted. And again, that's something we should write unit tests for. But just quick and dirty, where's our sort by? Sorted by, reversed. Is there a reversed?
After.
Sorry?
You go at the end of the line?
Sorted by descending. Yeah, I think this should work. Yeah.
But in my opinion, it makes more sense to have the bigger number at the end, because if you have a very long list of files, the last files are the one you will see.
Yes, it makes sense because it's a command line tool. It's not a.
Yes.
Well, actually, it depends, because if you export this information into a file, then you would like this to be.
Yeah, it's a choice we make.
Yeah, or maybe flag to add, but we are not adding flags right now. So yes, let's take your proposal and just make it like that. And I think, sorry, it's mine. Where is yours? I think we can just do that. Not bug fixes. Don't write just bug fixes in your commit messages. We need to write what we actually fixed, right? So we
need to teach me how to write good commit messages, because I'm really sloppy at it.
Fixed accounting of empty lines and ordering of the results.
So,
yeah. And now we can do git push git yeah. So we do git push and origin master. Fail to push. You use main. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
I'm not sure.
Even actually.
I have not accepted yet. We will fix it.
You haven't accepted yet the invitation?
Okay, I will accept it. But I was wondering, it would be interesting now to try it, because we did on JVM. Now let's try to do it natively.
Go for it. Now take full control of what's going on.
So for this, I run the task Gradle.
Just a second. I will follow you. Yes.
So I will go and install. I hope it's configured well.
Okay. Let's meanwhile show our faces to Fox. And Which font and theme is this? Well, I suspect that the theme is probably Zenborn. Theme Darkola, it says here, but maybe in the editor, color scheme, yes. The theme is Zenborn. Zenborn is it is a very popular theme in Emacs, and I've been using it before I started using IntelliJ, so that's what I use when I write production code. And the font I'm usually using is either Deja Vu or Roboto. So in this case, it would be a Roboto. No, Deja Vu, sorry. Currently, I'm using Deja Vu, and what you see is Deja Vu font. Kim asks, what are you working on exactly? Well, Kim, we've just written a simple command line tool to process Git repository and report some stats about how often files in that repository change. Okay, Jean-Michel, would you like to explain to us how you can run this script on native?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not working right now. But usually, you just have to do Gradle install, and I can show you with my other project, so Git standup.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised since we're doing such an improvised live stream. I would be really surprised if it would work. It would be very strange. So yeah,
so
totally expected.
This is Git standup that was in the Kotlin CLI starter project.
Just a second. You're probably looking at your own monitor right now, right? So share your screen.
Okay.
And folks, in the comments section, if you have any questions, we are about to finish here. So that's your opportunity to address some questions to Jean-Michel. He is the expert here. Okay.
So, yep. So Gradle install is a command to launch if it was working. And it's working for Git standup. Git standup is what I implemented in the Kotlin CLI starter. And as you can see, it's run on the current project. But I can go in another repository and you will look at all the commits I did yesterday. So as you can see, I have a lot of repositories and I'm doing nothing. Of course, yesterday was Sunday. Yeah, there are some commits.
These are your commits from one single day?
Yes.
Man, now I have some very strong inferiority complex.
Oh, there was like 6 of them.
6 of them? I see a long list. It's like hundreds.
Those are all my repositories, but I didn't work on them. This is why you see no commits.
I see. Can you make the text a little bit bigger? Because I don't see what's written there. I thought each of these is a commit on its own.
So I'm not sure to do that. Only commit that you can see, for example, here is one here.
Okay. So you did just 6 commits yesterday. You're lazy, just like me. Good job.
So what is interesting is if I run time git standard -help, you can see that it starts in 50 milliseconds. If it was a JVM, it would be 1 second. So this is one of the advantage of doing a native tool. The other advantage, as I said, is that you can deploy it to the virtual machine that doesn't have the JVM.
Yeah, but then native, you need to compile, you need to produce executable for each of the targets, right? So for native, you would compile one for Linux, one for macOS, one for Windows.
Yes.
So it's not portable. And with JVM, it's portable, well, just like any other Java program.
That's a good point. And it reminds me, I didn't tell you yet, but in this project, you have a GitHub Action workflows.
Would you like to show us?
Yes, because what is interesting is I work on Ubuntu macOS, and I don't put on Windows because it doesn't work yet. But I found super important to, when you have a multi-platform project, to have a GitHub Action that run on Linux, Windows, and Mac, because Kotlin Multiplatform means really run everywhere, but also debug everywhere. So here I have all my tests working on different systems. If you don't have that, you are in trouble.
Yeah, I've never used GitHub Actions, so maybe just explain to us some basics about the comments that we see right now.
Okay. So this GitHub Action launch a task called Run on GitHub. The task Run on GitHub is defined with Gradle. It's a normal task. And what it's doing, it's running all the tests, meaning tests on JVM, JavaScript, and native, and running the executable also on JS native and JVM. The important part here is where does it run. You can configure it to run on Ubuntu or Mac or Windows, but you can also configure it to run on all of them. So currently it's running on Ubuntu and macOS.
Yeah, but wait a second. Where does it actually run? Like GitHub Actions provides some kind of like machines that you can run on?
Yes.
Okay. So that would be like a Firebase lab testing, or however they call it. So behind the scenes there are machines, and you can tell GitHub Actions, please run my code on Ubuntu, or please execute my code on macOS.
Yes.
Nice. Is it a paid feature?
No, it's free. And you can see it here. So I'm on the Kotlin CLI starter, and you can see the actions running here. And you can see that it's not running on Windows currently because for complicated, like Windows is not completely POSIX. This is why it doesn't work.
Yeah, interesting. And since we are talking, it's not exactly related to Kotlin or command line scripts, but since we are talking about GitHub Actions, how would you do you like it? Do you work with it professionally or just for your pet projects?
So it's nice that you have Linux and especially Mac instances available for free if you have an open source project. I don't like that you have to configure things in YAML because it's super error prone. It's not type safe at all, and it's really, you can lose a lot of time where nothing is launched and you don't know why. And I can recommend, I have written an article about it.
Let me show your screen.
I don't remember.
But let's say, have you used other build servers like, or maybe even platforms like Circle CI or Bit?
I've used GitLab.
GitLab, okay.
It was configured by the DevOps people, not by me.
Yeah, usually that's what you go do with GitLab or Jenkins. You don't.
But the good thing with GitHub Action is like it's there by default.
And was it simple to configure GitHub Actions for this project? Like, how much time did it take? How long did it take?
Well, what I do is that I take the example from my article on using Gradle Action. And then it's simple. But if you want to do something custom, you can waste a lot of time because it's YAML and you have a white space somewhere and nothing works. And I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah. Well, that's not nice to waste a lot of time. Okay, is there anything else you would like us to see about this project? So what we've covered so far, we've covered the project itself, right? And it has this template button, which we couldn't show because I already used it. But basically, if you go to this project, let me maybe show it. Where is that will be? So add to stream, and okay, so that's the project, folks. GitHub Jean-Michel Fayard Kotlin CLI starter. If you go here, you'll have here use this template button. And actually, I have some Android templates for myself, and I need to start using that as well because I always do it manually. Clone the project. It's not a lot of work. It's just 2 minutes. Clone the project, remove .git repository, create git init, and then push the project. So it's 2 minutes of work, but it's nice to have one button solution. So once we clone this project, we then search inside the source code for basically
Customize me.
Customize me. What's the problem? Customize me. Yeah. So, folks, if you copy this, clone this project, you will have this customize me. And Jean-Michel actually explained very detailed explanations what you need to customize and why. And after that, we basically removed everything from this git standup file, right? It's still called git standup, but it's actually git.
Yeah, we can rename the method.
Yeah, but I can do it on my own. I think everybody will understand that we should have renamed that. And then we even actually wrote some unit tests for it, right? So we have this one single unit test, which actually helped us debug something. And after that, you have several, we haven't covered this part. By the way, I share my screen, right? I'm not just talking to myself.
No, you are.
By the way, we haven't covered this part that we have, where's that source? Okay, we have all these packages, right? Could you just explain to us how the code is organized? We should have started with that, but maybe we can cover it right now for folks who might want to try it.
Sure. So most of the code is in common main, and most of the tests, actually all of the tests, are in common test. Okay, so this replaces main and test in a normal JVM or Kotlin project.
So common here basically means that this code will be relevant for all build targets, right? For JVM, for JavaScript, for everything. So basically everything you can share between all the platforms resides in common main, and all the tests that are relevant to all platforms reside here in common test. Okay, and then we have
now something interesting. If you open in common main the file called io.commonexpect, and you go at the end of the file, there is a function called run test. So we want it just to be the same as run blocking, but run blocking does not exist on JavaScript. So this is why if you go to JVM main,
I see. If I go to JVM main, we will have actual implementation.
JVM actuals, like you can see, is just calling run blocking.
Yes.
But on JS, run blocking does not exist. So if you go to JS main, it's calling a global scope.promise instead.
Yeah.
So this is what allowed us to use suspending function in the test, because when we are executing a command, it's a suspending function. We had no choice. And this actual expect is how Kotlin Multiplatform allows to use all the native features, all the native API on a specific target, and put this in common. And so Kotlin Multiplatform can be quite easily a complicated topic, but this is exactly what I found interesting, to build first a CLI tool with it, because a CLI tool is something relatively simple. You are just like executing the command, passing the output, executing another command. So you could start your Kotlin Multiplatform journey by doing Android and backend and web and Swift. But I will not recommend it because the learning curve is too steep. But here you have a simple example when you can start doing expect actual and understand how it works.
Yeah. Well, that's very nice of you. I think we can my brain is definitely burning right now.
Okay.
So it was quite a bit of stuff, and it was very interesting, really. My first Kotlin multi-platform CLI application. I really like that. Just one single question for the end. Run blocking does not exist in JavaScript. What about other coroutine constructs? Is there coroutine support in JavaScript?
Yes, yes, yes.
So coroutines basically work in JavaScript.
Yes, but you cannot do a blocking call in JavaScript. Everything is asynchronous. You have this event loop.
Yeah, okay. That's something I don't understand much about, but I trust.
Me neither.
I trust your
I was
judgment.
just super surprised to see that run blocking does not exist. Yeah, it was also my first Kotlin multi-platform project, and I'm happy because it was simple and I learned a lot still. I hope it's useful for you.
Yeah, and now I learned too, and 10 to 15 people who actually watched this live stream also learned, and I'm sure that many more will watch it after that to just see how we code. And folks, well, I should have said it at the beginning, but those who watch this afterwards should probably just use 1.5 or 2x speed, and then this will make their experience much faster. Okay, Jean-Michel, a lot of thanks to you. I think it was really nice, and for me it was super important. I learned a lot. I will need to process this information for another couple of days before it actually settles. Is there anything else you want to say? Like maybe give some pointers to your stuff. You have a blog, right? Your blog.
Yeah, I have a blog. You can find me on jean-michel-fayard.dev. I don't know where I put it.
Yeah, I will link to your blog now. Add banner. So, folks, now on your screens you see Jean-Michel's blog. Go visit and subscribe to his newsletter if you have one.
I don't.
Then follow him on Twitter. Let's just post your Twitter handle as well. Find your Twitter handle.
Jean-Fayard, but with underscore.
So that's Jean-Michel's Twitter handle. So go follow him on Twitter. And thank you very much, everyone for tuning in. I hope you learned something new. I definitely have. So that was a very productive session, in my opinion.
Ciao.
Thank you very much, Jean-Michel. Bye.